What's up guys, today we're going to talk about basics every windsurfer and aspiring windsurfer should know. As you guys know, sometimes we talk about very advanced stuff, but recently a lot of people that are new to the sport came across this channel, reached out to me asking for more basic information. But don't worry, whatever level you are, I'm sure there will be some value in here. So stick around. If for some reason you're not subscribed just yet, now's the time to do so, because we always got lots of things to learn here and we got windsurf vlogs, action and much more on this channel. So be sure to subscribe and switch the notification bell on to not miss anything. I've got a question for you. What is the very first thing you do in order to prepare for your session? I wonder what's the wind like today. Foil board or slalom board? 7.4, 9.0, 5.8? I don't know. In order to avoid this question, you need a reliable wind forecast. And you need to know how to use it. For me, the three main wind forecasts are Windfinder, Windguru and Windy, but there are many others, including some local ones. The forecast websites use a couple of different weather models, and from my experience, it's the most important to find the weather model that works best for your local spot. By now, most of the websites and apps offer a variety of forecast models, so it also depends on which interface you can work with the best. For example, Windy has a really good map, while I enjoy reading the chart of Windfinder. Some local forecasts work with different models, which can be very accurate for certain spots. For example, in the Canaries, many people use a forecast called Mucho Viento, and in Lake Garda, one that's called 3Lab. And up here in northern Germany and Denmark, we like to use DMI or FCOO. In the end, it's important that you find the forecast that works best for your spot and learn to read it well. I think it's a great idea if you share your spots and the best wind forecast down below in the comments. That way we can help each other out. And now that we checked the forecast, it's time to pack your gear and get to the beach. Depending on what kind of conditions you're looking for, it's always good to look for a place that doesn't block the wind. So high buildings, cliffs or trees shouldn't be in the way from where the wind comes. You get to the beach, the wind is up and you just don't know what sail size to take. The only thing that's worse is when there's no wind at all. Just like today. Well, luckily there are a few indicators that help you decide on the right sail size. Most importantly, you gotta look on the water and ask yourself several questions. How many foam caps are there? Are there other windsurfers planing? What sail size are they using? What's your weight? And of course, what is your skill set and what gear do you have available? Try to answer as many questions of these as possible, and ideally they should all align to the same set of gear, but of course you do need some experience with this. You need to know, for example, that in wavy spots foam caps appear in much less wind than in flat spots, and how much overpower you're capable of handling on your gear. When I choose my gear during a competition and I'm in doubt between two sail sizes, I always opt for the bigger one, because getting stuck and not getting planing is the last thing you want to do, and sailing a bit overpowered is a great training. Okay, so the next one is pretty obvious, but we still see a lot of people doing this wrong, and it's about carrying your sail. Just don't do it like this. Put the mast parallel to the wind and ideally on your head. Just like that. Check to see where you can enter from as a windsurfer, because it's not always allowed to enter from any beach. Sometimes there are swimming zones, and there once was a story of somebody getting run over by a windsurfer. Pretty bad story. It wasn't the windsurfer's fault, but anyway, it just shows that it can end up really gnarly if you don't take care and go out in the right area. Also, before you go on the water, go ahead and check if the ground is steep, or go ask some locals if there are sea urchins. For example, in the Caribbean or in the Mediterranean areas, there are often sea urchins and you don't want to step on those, and yeah, just check what the underground situation is. If you need some help with the basics on the water, I'm still offering the Freeride PDF guide as a free download on my website. Link is down below in the video description. So for some reason you didn't get it yet, now is the time, because over 4,000 people got it already, and I get lots of messages of people letting me know about their progress with the guide. As I said, down below there's a link in the video description. And by the way guys, next week we're gonna go to a really amazing spot. Ole is gonna come as well, so there are gonna be a lot of action shots. In this video I wasn't planning on any action, but here's some anyway. And always take care with the right-of way. Unless it's a kite surfer, then blast away. Actually, I'm just kidding. Even if it's a kite surfer, you have to take care. Whether you're in the right-of-way, it's pretty easy to determine. If your right hand is in the front, you're in the right-of-way, and if your left hand is in the front, then you have to take care with the others. And one more thing with the right-of-way, which I experienced a lot actually. If you are in the right-of-way, make sure you keep your line straight. Otherwise, you're gonna confuse the other person, and that person is not sure where to go, and you're not sure where to go, and you're gonna end up doing a zigzag with the other person. After the session, you need to consider where to park your gear. In some spots you have ropes in the water, that means you can leave the gear in the water, but do you really trust the others driving around it? So best is always to find a place under a tree, especially when it's warm. Get some shade for your gear. You want your gear to last long. And you should also release some downhaul to release some tension from the mast, because we want it in one piece when we come back to the gear. If you do go out on the water one more time after your break, make sure the wind doesn't change, because in some spots during lunchtime or around the afternoon, the wind direction can change and you don't want to end up doing the walk of shame. So make sure to ask the locals what the thermal wind situation is, so you don't end up like Ole in this video. And then obviously enjoy the most amazing sport in the world. Have fun out there and give yourself enough time to learn certain things, because windsurfing is a rather difficult sport and you do need patience, but it's also incredibly rewarding, so don't give up.